Hey everyone! So welcome. We are currently streaming and being live in France. So I'm pretty excited to be with you guys. How are you doing? And please enjoy the show.
Donc merci à toutes et à tous d'être ici, que ce soit sur internet ou à Fougères. Ce sera donc streamé en français dans la salle, donc au cinéma, et sur internet en anglais et en français pour ceux et celles qui n'ont pas pu venir ici, et en russe également. Et donc du coup on remercie tout le monde.
Et amusez-vous bien, et puis on se retrouve une fois que Devil Tifa, Brother Main, Super Lingod et Mel West auront détruit les 5 premiers jeux. Donc amusez-vous bien.
Good luck everyone and have fun!
Hey everyone! This is it. After 6 months, we are to the Ultimate Finals. It's going to be pretty amazing with that crazy introduction. It showed everything that happened, and I can't believe how much that happened. Since when did we start already?
Oh geez, we've been back in April. This season started, and we've been on an incredible journey all the way up to today. It didn't end at Grand Finals, not in the Ultimate Decathlon. It ends at the Ultimate Finals, which is where we are here. 4 players have earned the right to compete here as a grand prize And after that amazing intro, I am totally pumped
Yeah.
to see what the players are going to do.
It is amazing. Like just being able to see the intro and all. Like, and plus we're live in France. Like we're both on the same place. Like, can you show a little bit of the room? Like it's amazing. Like
Yeah,
just
here we
see.
go.
It's like a big hey, say hi to the French commentators over there, and that you barely can guess the players, and then everybody in the room just still entering because it's just starting. Like, how are you doing, Michiko?
I mean, that's a stupid question at
Yeah.
this point, to be perfectly honest. I am a bundle of emotions right now. There was a lot of... it's all good now. It's all very positive energy. This is great. I think we're going to eventually start to talk to some of the players. I get to like really meet the players. And you guys at home will too. And so that's pretty exciting to me. You can take a look at them there on the screen.
Yeah, so we're going to have like first Devil fan Brother Main just showing up on stage and answering a few little questions. We have that little guy that will leave his seat for just a second, and we'll be able to talk, ask them how they're doing, and we'll just be running from that. We're going to be live today up until for 4 hours long, and then it's going to be the second part on tomorrow.
We are joined now by
Hello.
Brother Main. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Are you as nervous as I am to be up on this stage with these lights?
Yes, very much.
So how do you deal with those nerves?
I don't really. I just think about the game I'm going to play next, which is Cuphead, and then I just put my mind to it and don't think about anything else, I guess.
Yeah. So, are you going to be... Do you think you'll be playing any games differently in this setting? Things are a little different. Your computer's a little different. Do you see yourself making any adjustments, or are you going to try to do everything the way you normally do it?
I'm not going to change anything, I think, especially because Belwest is very strong, and everyone in this final is very strong, and I need to play my best to have a chance to win, so yeah.
Winning the award like everybody was expecting to. Like we had to talk with Michiko. Like, is winning important for you today?
It's not the end of the world if I don't win, but yeah, I would like very much to win, yes.
Because for everyone in stream joining us and discovering UD maybe for the first time, this like the grand prize for UD is actually being invited here in France. So it's just like for bragging rights now. It's just like for glory.
Yeah, right. It's just bragging rights, but I'm very happy to be here, and was the goal for me for this season. And winning would be a nice bonus, but overall, yeah, I'm just here to have fun too. So.
And that trophy is on the line.
Yeah, that trophy is huge this year. So, yeah, I want to win it.
So this year, this is not your first time competing on the big stage?
Yeah, it's the third actually.
Wow.
Third
so
time.
it's not new, but you never really get used to it, do you?
No, you don't, and that's what makes it fun too. So.
All right, so we've had 10 games this season, as normally happens in a decathlon. Was there anything that you took to really well? A game that really suited your skills?
I knew I would like Castlevania Aria of Sorrow because it's a Metroidvania. It's my favorite type of game, but unexpectedly, I really grew fond of Spectrable for some reason. It's one of my favorite
I
games.
did not expect
despite
that.
being the worst game ever, but I really like it.
Yeah, so you had the world record.
I still do.
You might still have the world record.
Yeah. By 2 seconds.
By
but I
2
still do.
seconds. Is that something that interests you, or is it just another UD game?
A bit of both. I played it because of UD, but now I might do other categories. So.
All right. Thank you so much for talking to us. Brother
Thank you very
Main,
much.
everyone, best of luck.
Thank you.
And we'll have Devil fan next. So Brother Main qualified second in the grand finals, if I recall correctly.
I have it
Oh,
here
yeah, thanks.
on the other side of this paper, as we're joined by Devil Tifa. Twin's going to be doing a bit of translating for us on this one, and can confirm just third, actually, Brother Main qualifying.
Cool.
Yeah, welcome, Devil Tifa.
Bienvenue, Devil Tifa.
Hello.
How are you doing? When you look out and see all these people on this stage, what are you feeling?
Comment ça va? Qu'est-ce que ça te fait de voir tous ces gens devant toi?
Je vais bien. C'est toujours un peu stressant, mais assez détendu.
He's doing alright. It's obviously super stressful, but he comes like really relaxed actually.
So you're probably the person I think of as the real veteran of Ultimate Decathlon. Your brother Maine also has been here a number of times, but it's just, how do you? I know there's like an inside joke here that I kind of want to step on, but you always do so well under pressure, and I was wondering how you keep calm.
So, t'es le plus grand vétéran de l'UD a priori, et Brother Maine déjà été là 3 fois, mais t'es celui qui a été là le plus souvent, et tu joues super bien sous la pression, et du coup, Mythical te demande comment tu restes calme, ou comment tu gardes ton sang-froid.
Là, c'est un peu compliqué parce qu'ils sont vraiment très redoutables. Les autres joueurs sont très redoutables. Mais oui, je me suis entraîné justement pour essayer d'être le moins stressé possible contre eux et donner le meilleur de moi-même.
It's very difficult to stay calm today because the other players are so strong. But he trained really hard, like lots of practice recently, and he's going to do his best. That's it, pretty much it.
Well said. You qualified back in July. You were at the top of the leaderboards, and then we didn't see any new personal bests uploaded for a while. Were you taking a break? Were you or were you working on games here and there a little bit to not get rusty?
Pas de PB depuis juillet. Est-ce que t'as pris complètement une pause, ou est-ce que t'as travaillé certains jeux pour pas être trop rouillé?
Alors j'avais pris une pause jusqu'à un peu avant la grande finale. Et toute la semaine, du coup, j'ai retravaillé, toutes les 2 semaines, j'ai retravaillé les jeux pour me préparer justement pour cet événement.
So the break actually, like you said, lasted for a long time, up until grand finals. And when the grand final was upon us, Devil Tifa started practice a lot, and then like grinding the hell recently to get to the ultimate final as in good shape as possible.
So we're gonna see the Devil Tifa who has won other Ultimate Decathlons, who has made it to Ultimate Finals several times. Devil Tifa's here to play.
Donc on va voir le Devil Tifa qui a fait des ultimes finales. On a vu c'est le Devil Tifa qui est prêt à travailler et pas simplement celui qui vient prétendu.
Oui, l'objectif c'est de faire la meilleure place possible, évidemment.
Yeah, the goal is being there, like, it didn't say win, but to get the best place as possible.
C'est vraiment le plaisir avant tout, quand même.
But playing pleasure first.
So, to get this good at this many games, it takes a lot of effort. What is it that drives you to work so much on so many games? Is it about winning, or is it something more personal, or is it just fun?
Travailler sur 10 jeux, évidemment, c'est super dur. Qu'est-ce qui te motive le plus? Est-ce que c'est gagner? Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose juste pour toi, ça te correspond bien? Ou est-ce que c'est juste parce que c'est fun et que c'est bien fait?
Pour le fun, le speedrun, j'aime beaucoup, j'en regarde beaucoup. Et c'est aussi, surtout dans le décathlon, faire des races avec d'autres personnes, s'amuser ensemble. Et c'est vraiment ça qui me motive le plus.
So speedrun is super fun. It's very fun to watch on Twitch, and there's a lot of watching of speedrunning. So fun mostly, and also like the UD, the setting is pretty cool to do races, to meet people. Like the community feeling helps a lot.
All right, thank you so much for talking to us, Devil Tifa. Best of luck.
Merci
Thank
beaucoup,
you.
Tifa. Up next is Mel West. Mel West that qualified first, actually, one of the top players in the UD6.
Hello.
Hi, welcome. You are at the top of the leaderboard. You kind of beat these guys pretty bad in Grand Final, 70, 80 points, something like that. Are you looking for the dominating performance here today, or is it a little more about maybe just having fun?
It's more about having fun because I think I'm not at home, so I can't perform better than at my home. So I'm hoping for a good performances, but we'll see. I don't think I will crush my opponents like I did last week.
I may have exaggerated a little. Especially, it's very hard to compete against all three of these other opponents. Very strong all around. Been a pleasure to watch. You didn't qualify back in July. You're a little short, and then we didn't see you in August or September. But you were putting the times up, but when you came back in October in Grand Finals, you posted some of the best scores, in the UD season. Was this just the practice, or did something change for you?
I did a break. I had a break, like a lot of my opponents, because after July. I was exhausted. I had to do a break, so I repractice for the last tournament because I think 3 weeks to just qualify on a month is a lot for me, and I had only 1 week to perform. So
you really performed with that 1 week. Pretty incredible. Is there any game this season that you think you might continue to speedrun afterwards, or are you just waiting for the next season, or what?
I won't play any more games of this season, and even the previous seasons I don't play games anymore because I already played it a lot.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And about the season 7, I don't think I will participate. But it's my choice. I think it will be a good season.
Yeah, you'll be maybe in the audience next year.
Obviously.
So that means that there's something here with UD that is more than just playing the games for you. Is it community? These things important?
It's really important. I think this community is awesome. Maybe the best community in the speedrun communities. So I hope more players will join us for next season, and everyone will have fun.
Yeah, maybe some English speaking people want to get
just come
involved as a newcomer to the UD family. It has been incredible for me. So I can attest to Melwest's feelings. Give it a shot. It's a lot of fun. Though it can certainly be a little stressful at times, a lot of work. The players, I haven't actually got a chance to listen in on the players when they race, but some players like to get on a mumble and they're talking to each other. Is that something that you do, or?
I prefer play alone.
Focus.
Being focused is more important for me. Because if I have to speak, I'm less focused. So it's not a good thing for me.
All right. Well, we'll leave you to focus now. Thanks so much for coming to talk to us, and best of
have
luck.
Fun.
Yeah, we will have fun for sure. And next up is Super Lingard, one of the top players of UD6 as well. We obviously have the 4 best players. Welcome, Super Lingard.
Hello.
So immediately we have to talk. What are you wearing?
Le premier chose qu'il faut parler, c'est comment t'es habillé. Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé?
Alors, je me suis habillé comme ça parce que y a mon héros préféré, c'est Link, donc d'où mon pseudo. Donc c'est pour ça que je me suis habillé comme ça et je voulais une tenue orientale, donc voilà.
So the hair and hat are for reference to Link, obviously, and it's like the rest of the suit is Asian reference because I love Asian culture. That's pretty much it.
All right, got it. I think it takes a lot of confidence to wear something like that on stream. And you came across as someone very confident. You thought you could get the 1900 points in grand finals. I think it was very admirable, and you succeeded at that. Where does this confidence come from?
Donc déjà ça montre que t'as beaucoup confiance en toi, que t'es à l'aise de venir habillé comme ça. Et puis ensuite t'étais assez confiant par rapport à tes performances. T'avais annoncé des scores que t'as réussi à battre pour la grande finale. D'où est-ce que vient cette confiance?
Bah, à force d'entraînement, à force de jouer au jeu, on acquit une certaine expérience et on peut se surpasser au moment crucial. Donc c'est comme ça que j'arrive à ce niveau-là aujourd'hui.
Well, the more you play, the better you know yourself in the game, so you can overcome like anything like life can throw at you pretty much, and you build like enough confidence to be like, okay, I know what I'm worth, and nothing matters, nothing else matters.
That's awesome. You've got the hat on, you've got the link in the name, and I saw a scarf the other day. That was Zelda. Is it a series that's special to you?
Tu portes le chapeau de Link aujourd'hui, tu avais l'écharpe Zelda hier, et tu t'appelles Super Link God. Qu'est-ce que la série des Zelda fait dans ta vie?
Alors c'est un jeu de mon enfance à partir d'Ocarina of Time, donc j'ai tout de suite accroché et ensuite ça n'a jamais arrêté. J'ai eu toutes les consoles possibles pour jouer à ces jeux-là et voilà, je me suis même tatoué le Link sur la jambe.
Every game since Ocarina of Time that he played as a kid like meant a lot, so he got like every console for Zelda exclusively, and even has a Zelda tattoo, so it's like very deep for Super Link God.
I think Ocarina of Time probably my all-time favorite game, special memories. I'd go ahead and tell him that while I get the next question.
Ocarina of Time, c'est le jeu préféré de Mythical, donc il comprend ce que tu veux dire.
All right, so you were a little late joining this season, but you still performed incredibly well. Do you have any regrets that you weren't able to play earlier on or anything like that?
Tu as rejoint la saison assez tard. Est-ce que il s'est passé quelque chose? Est-ce que tu as des regrets maintenant que tu arrives ici de ne pas avoir joué plus tôt?
Alors aucun regret du tout, je suis arrivé tard suite au travail, c'est normal, donc, mais j'ai aucun regret, en moins j'ai pu enchaîner. Pas comme David Tifa où il s'est arrêté, il a fait une longue pause et il s'est un peu écroulé à la grande finale. J'ai pu enchaîner et du coup acquérir une expérience et pas avoir marre justement des jeux aujourd'hui.
No regret at all, because starting late allowed Super Link God to come in fresh and not having to take a break, like do everything in a row, like start learning the game, then tourneys, then last chance tournament, then grand finals without a break needed. So it actually may have helped. So it didn't start right off the bat because of work reason, and so it all came together pretty well.
All right. Well, I hope that things continue to go well for you. Thanks so much for coming to talk to us, and best of luck.
Merci et bonne chance. Et on se verra tout à l'heure.
Oui. Merci. Au revoir.
Thank you. It's going to be pretty awesome seeing all those players. Now that you've put a face and a voice on every of those players, I hope like you can relate a little bit more about what's going to happen, because we are going to play 5 games back to back, starting by Cuphead, and then it's going to be like pretty dense. We have a crowd watching those players. They actually like face the crowd, like it's really meant to be a show, and just to show how much like speedrun is fun. Like it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the expressions on their faces on the cam. Sometimes some of the screen transitions will show that. Sometimes things happen, and I wonder if a player is maybe got a smile on their face about what just happened, or if they're genuinely very upset. And we'll get to see those kinds of reactions live. It should be a ton of fun. Again, 5 games today. I know the players were very happy to only be playing 5 and not all 10 at once.
Mm-hmm.
And game 1's going to be Cuphead.
Yeah, Cuphead is going to be pretty cool. It's hard to like. I've missed the game. It's been released for a year, but it feels like it's been around forever. It's a very strong boss fighting game, like retro theme. Visually, it's just like stellar. We are going to play in the simple category, and it's going to be pretty cool to see how well the runners are playing. And starting with Cuphead is probably like actually pretty comforting, because it's one of the easier games of UD6.
That's right. This is, you wouldn't think of Cuphead as an easy game, but it turns out that on the simple category, and with just a little bit of time, everyone was able to get very good times, reliably get good times in Cuphead. And certainly there's a thing here or there the players are going to be worried about, but I think they probably couldn't ask for a better initial game. We can take a look. I'm loving the new reclip, the redone trailers we have are really a treat to watch. There they are, the 4 players, PBs lined up. You can see they are all very even on Cuphead.
Yeah, it is actually super close. So 1742 for Mel West, 1816 for Super Lingard, 1750 for Brother Main, 1807 for Devil Tifa. We are still going to use the point system that UD uses. So the UD is meant like to pull people towards speedrunning. It starts like nobody knows the game, and like we try to even out all the games like differently. So the point system is going to balance out longer and shorter games. So Cuphead is actually pretty average, like it's a 20-minute long speedrun.
Mm-hmm.
They will try to beat the 20s, but it's going to be pretty intense for them.
Yeah, we're looking at 6 seconds per point here, so you can do the math if you want, but you can also wait, and we'll have leaderboards that we'll put up that will tell the tale. The players are all looking a little apprehensive. Mel West, deep in thought. This is, I think we're going to be seeing start pretty soon.
Yeah, everybody is raising a hand. The thumbs up is shown for all the players. And here we go.
Count it down.
2, 1. Yeah,
go.
Let's go. So everybody starts. They should be on very, very similar hardware, but we are still going to show the in-game time for everybody just for reference. And it's going to be pretty interesting to see how well it turns down. So first up is the tutorial, because, well, as always, we did Cuphead tutorial just for 1 coin, because we are going to need an extra weapon. It's going to be pretty important. Brother Main, Mesa West, Super Ligon, and Devil Tifa are probably going to go through different routes, actually.
Yeah, I was wondering if I was going to talk about it. Are we going to see roundabout and spread? We know Mel West sticks to spread. I know Brother Main with the roundabout. And you'd think such a big choice and difference in playstyle would make more of a difference in time, but it turns out they really are quite even. They excel at different areas, and there was a bit of discussion in the UD for a while about everyone started with spread, then people started thinking about maybe roundabout. It's pretty good on this boss fight. It's pretty good on that boss fight. So what started as a safer option has become just as viable in terms of speed. We can see Devil Tifa is our main focus right now on the first boss. The root pack has gone with spread. We're getting spread from also Super Link God and Mel West. Brother Main, the only one going to be rocking the roundabout. Yeah, the root pack is pretty easier with the spread, actually, because it's easy to get all shots to connect. On that Devil Carrot, you can see like Devil Tifa jumping in and out like Super Link God and Mel West, while the Brother Main actually defaulted to the P shooter and sometimes re-switched to the roundabout, but the supers from the roundabout don't help. So Mel West gets the knockout. So the Super Link God, the feeds are super synced up. I was psyched, maybe like there was an issue, but no, they are actually that close right now. Yeah, it's with this environment, you are able to actually just look over at the other person's screen and get a feel for where things are. There might be very slight differences in loading time, so keep an eye on the bottom right corner for the timers, and you can kind of contrast and compare where players are right now. Still pretty much neck and neck. Devil Tifa with 156 on the timer is going to be our focus now. First one into Ribby and Croaks, getting nice and close with that spread shot. Again, another fight that is advantage for the spread shot. And he's actually going to play it maybe a little safe there, shooting away. Oh, he doesn't care. Out some of those enemies. He takes the hit. He's going to die. Oh, my God, no! Oh, wow, he played so aggressively. Mel West actually took a hit as well. The HP is blinking. With just one left, Super Link God is in the same boat, but actually, like, he's playing super safe. And Brother Main with the roundabout is going to have like a easier time. But actually also at 1 HP, Mel West takes the lead. Devil Tifa is going to be from behind now. And like everybody showed different level of confidence I picked up. And like from the start, like dying here is going to be like actually huge, I guess, just like for being able to keep on going. Well, yeah, as straightforward as Cuphead ends up being, as a speedrun, certainly very challenging when you play through casually, but On simple difficulty as a speedrun, it's not too bad. But if you do make those mistakes and you do die, a single death will cost you so much time. There are no checkpoints in these fights, so Devil Tifa gets set back quite a ways. The other three players now on Goopy Legrand, trying to chase him around with the spread shots to stay nice and close. Super Link, I thought, was maybe going to see another jump, but was actually on the next phase. And was using pea shooter supers there, so that tells me he's not looking to take intentional hits, get inside the hitbox, and let loose with the spread supers, which do a little bit more damage, but risky to take those hits to get inside the hitbox. So a little bit more cautious play. He's going to get the knockout Brother Main as well, getting the knockout Mel West done as well. Devil Tifa now on the second phase.
It was actually pretty insightful to see the runners actually practice for a little bit and see their own split and stuff like that, because it showed a different care about certain stuff. For example, Brother Main has his in-game time also noted on the the result from the fight.
Yeah.
And that showed it was okay, I need to save a second or not. And that was actually pretty. It's rare to be able to watch a speedrunner actually play live. Directly in front of your eyes. Usually it's on Twitch and you don't know exactly what's going on behind the scenes. So starting with Hildeberg, everybody seems to play a little bit safe, so I don't feel like we're going to see a lot of intentional damage boosts, but obviously as soon as I say that, Super Link goes for it.
Yeah, I don't know if this is, sometimes you might make little adjustments to be a little safe, but making really big adjustments can sometimes be just very unfamiliar territory, and being in that territory can be as unsafe
Mel
as
West
going
dies.
for something
What?
like that hit, Mel West. Oh, man. So not too far into the fight, but still a pretty big time loss there for Mel West, and also just a blow to your confidence. You don't want to die in game number one.
Yeah, obviously, Devil Tifa took a death, Mel West took a death, and that brings the memory of the July final, actually, where everybody died and everybody lost a lot of time. So it is pretty incredible. I hope everybody stays focused, but Super Link takes the lead and is going to be the most confident maybe right now.
Finishing the fight with just 1 HP. Brother Main also finishing more than 1 HP, was looking pretty strong there at the end. We've seen a couple lead changes because of these deaths. We have seen cases in the past where one player was playing so cautiously that someone who died but was more aggressive actually closed the gap towards the end of the race. I don't know if we'll see that. Everyone is so evenly matched in this game that I feel like it will be very hard to come back unless we see more deaths from some of the other players. Not that I wish it upon them, though I seem to be pretty good at causing that somehow. Super Link God on Cagney Carnation was responsible for some of those deaths that we saw in the July tournament, and it is a little harder with the spread shot that Super Link God has.
Yeah, it is actually the boss that started the trend to play with the roundabout. So Little Y actually is in here with us, and he was the one from the UD community being hey, we should actually switch the weapons around, and he was the first. It's pretty hard, I feel to go and switch to a different route when the community is so big and so established, because Cuphead has been big for speedrunning. It has been featured on Speed Gaming, and I like that a lot. So Brother Main had a fantastic fight. It was 34 seconds compared to the 40 seconds on Cagney Carnation by Super Link God, actually. So it's very major. But you can see the in-game timers are very, very synced up, so they're actually super tight right now. Mel West and Devil Tifa still on Cagney Carnation. With the spread shot, boss of them, Devil Tifa gets the final blow first.
He was down to 1 HP there, cutting it a little close, but he has nailed it. Mel West with a stray super in a little bit of scary territory. Can take a hit, doesn't need to. Gets the knockout. Everyone in the audience is clapping. Oh, man, I love this. I love this environment. Super Link God and Brother Main are going to be the first two into Baroness von Bonbon. We saw the route change at some point. Someone realized just a little faster on the overworld to fight this boss now and do things in a slightly different order. This is another boss that has been problematic across the season. A couple deaths, a couple really bad ones.
It is a tough boss.
Yeah, so we got Roundabout for Brother Main. Much safer on this fight. Very hard to hit Baroness von Bonbon in the second phase with the spread. So, Roundabout is a little slower, but very, very safe. So we'll see how this plays out.
Okay, Brother Main gets the final hit on the first phase, and so with the roundabout you can just face left and just never get worried by anything. While Super Lingard does crazy stuff with taking intentional hit and using super like right in the Baroness dress to get like the perfect hits, and still Brother Main stay on the first like fastest fight, so that shows how roundabout can be actually good. Super Lingard got hit, they got the knockout, and I was worried for a second that Baroness van Bunven was not the one that got knocked out.
No, you don't need to be worried for him, but maybe Devil Tifa, who is down to 1 health already in the first phase, has transitioned to the second and again is using that spread. So you saw how hard Super Lingard had to work to get the damage with the spread.
Oh my
Devil
God.
Tifa is getting in there. He came a little short on that dash, so he wisely did not let loose with the super. He's going with the P shooter with the supers. He knows the boss is almost dead, needs just a little bit more. Those clouds are so scary.
Oh, no. Wow.
He runs away.
Okay.
He is okay, and he gets the knockout.
That got me like at the jelly bean first, like so it got super scary because if you land on it you die, and then
Mel
like
West as well.
it
Oh.
shows
Oh.
confidence and focus, but still relief. Not happy apparently with their performance. Still have to work on that. And Brother Main and Super Lingard on Wally Wobble currently.
Yeah, this is another phase not here in probably the best phase, I think, not here in super mode. So for now, they're just kind of giving it to him. First phase done now for Brother Main. Let's loose with the 5-card super, the EX super, I guess.
Yeah.
And even keeping nice and close on this second phase. Easy for Brother Main.
Yeah, he's like a few seconds ahead of Super Lingard that still has to kill like the final phase. This is simple mode, so a lot of viewers sometimes are surprised, but it does skip the final and the hardest and usually sometimes the best phase of the bosses, but we had to keep it simple for the UD because do you remember those guys are going to play 10 games back to back, like 5 today and 5 tomorrow, and it's going to be like pretty intense.
Right. The UD has games of varying difficulty. You're going to see some less than 10-minute runs, and then you're also going to see Shovel Knight, which is going to be close to an hour. Right. Huge amount to learn. DKC Area of Sorrow also all very big asks for the players to learn. So Cuphead has been slotted in as more of a middle tier game, maybe a little lower tier game with this simple difficulty. So fans of Cuphead may be wishing to see a little more, but here at the UD, you'll see some pretty cool stuff as well. Brother Main is on Jimmy the Great, taking care of these extra little heads just to get a bit of extra damage, also building up some more of that super. We have seen a couple deaths here or there, but generally this has been a fairly straightforward boss this season.
I think there's no boss that never killed anybody. Like every boss killed someone at some point. So like it's and it's pretty easy to get hit on some phases, but usually like it goes better than some others. Brother Main is now one entire phase ahead of Super Lingard, but Devil Tifa and Mel West, even with one death, are still keeping pretty close. So last phase for Brother Main. Jimmy the Great, actually, I think with the marionette makes fun of us, I don't know, but tries to hit us with our own weapon, and you have to dodge the hat, and you have to keep on hitting. Like it went well for Brother Main. That gets the hit, and sadly it still has the missile, so he could have been even faster, apparently.
Apparently, Super Lingard taking that last hit, but he, again, gets the knockout, trying to give me heart failure. But he knew he was totally fine. Very close to Brother Main. The two of them remain our leaders. Heading out of the second island after a little bit here. We've got Beppy the Clown coming up. So this is an advantage for spread, so Brother Main might lose some time here. It's although it can be a problem if Beppy moves back and forwards a little randomly. If he jerks too far forward, too far back at the wrong time, you can either find yourself not hitting at all or taking a hit, which is much worse. So Roundabout is at least consistent on this fight.
Yeah, but Brother Main lost like a little bit of time already on Super Lingard. Super Lingard should like get the final blow super quickly, and here especially like you can get the super from the spread pretty good. Although like the best way to hit Beppy the Clown is actually to aim your supers at the ground during the transition because the hitbox is still here. But Super Lingard should get like a super or two right in his face. Doesn't even need to, so the super card is still in his inventory. Devil Tifa is going to enter the Pt1 now, so he's still running from behind. And Brotherman gets the knockout, super clean, sub 12 Pt1.
Nice job, Brother Main. We've got a very difficult boss coming up next. Grim Matchstick is much easier with the roundabout. We've seen a lot of races decided by Grim Matchstick. Beppy the Clown down now for Super Link God. 1 health left, managed to close it out. Mel West going to be the player in focus, has that spread shot very wisely, getting away from Beppy as he got 2 far charges from Beppy. There's the supers down below, and this has been a fantastic start to this fight for Mel West.
Yeah, you can see how focused the player is. Like it just shows. Like they don't like blink even like on sometimes on faces. And the Clown like gives you RNG on depending on the color, and Great Matchstick for spilling on Brother Main easier certainly with on the roundabout. Also, although it's never like easy because like depending on the height of the clouds, you might not being able to kill it at all, and like you have to dodge everything like the roundabout.
Yeah, look,
sometimes
he's got no middle cloud.
Yeah, so that's pretty bad. And he has to dodge, takes the hit, goes super, gets finally a cloud that allows them to like dodge and hit at the same time. Dodges! Oh my god! Like everybody in the room cheers because
Look at him wiping his forehead. He was pushed to the limit by Grim Matchstick. Those flames are so devious at the bottom. You're focusing on the clouds. You're focusing on are your hits connecting. Super Link God's hits connect enough to finish off the boss. Very hard to keep track of the flames with everything else going on. Especially with spread, because the screen is scrolling away from the boss, so you need to be moving forwards but then turning around to land your shots. So the back and forth, very difficult with the spread. Devil Tifa now moving on to the second phase. Mel West just a little bit behind. We'll see how this goes. Devil Tifa is low, so he's going to get nice and close and then retreat. Looks like he is, nice
Each
dodge.
time it gets me, like, it's so hard. I'm focusing on something else, and I'm like, oh my god, those flames, please kill him.
More health left than he thought. I think he was getting very aggressive. Wow, still, why is it not dead? Any second now.
Okay.
There is the knockout.
He's even like laughing a little bit because I think it was actually surprised. Anybottom, the first phase is weird sometimes. On Mel West during the grand finals, I actually rewatched the VOD because he had the phase skip, which I've never seen. So I don't know exactly what happened, but he did not get like the in this phase. Like so, it was pretty weird. I don't know exactly how he did it. But with the downward supers, you can actually like make everything go a little bit faster. So that's probably what's up. So we'll. And Tifalingo dies to that phase. Wow. While Brother Main gets the knockouts.
At 1 health left, so Brother Main is going to be our leader. With that death, Super Link God very close now to Mel West and Devil Tifa. Devil Tifa beginning the fight now. Brother Main's time was 48 seconds. On Rumor Honeybottoms, he's got to feel pretty good about having the best start so far. It's not over yet, of course. There are a couple more bosses left to go in the run, but we are very far along.
Yeah, but when you do consider the settings we're on, like, obviously having a good start is going to set you so much, like, on the correct mood, and maybe you think, like, you're doing something right, and it can go, like, right or wrong, I don't know, but I hope like it's going actually to give them like confidence to keep on going. Solid stage play with those dial sim dive kicks can be like pretty tricky. Not so much on first phase.
Mel West dies. He had 1 health left, and I was sure that he was going to be the knockout any second. Mel West with a second death very late into the boss fight.
Damn, that was like on the same phase as the Spilling God, I guess.
He's already down to 1 health again. I don't know. He's going to play it out.
Yeah, he goes like super aggressive. I feel like he just does the fastest first phase possible, taking all the hits. Meanwhile, Brother Main having crazy dodges with those mechanical mice and gets it.
He takes the hit from the cars that are falling down because he knows he can. With that hit, he avoided on the right side. He's also going to take this hit from the wave.
Very nice.
And get the knockout.
I'm not sure what, like he seemed annoyed. I don't know exactly what happened, but that went pretty well for them. They probably don't know their head. Like that's actually like when you start focusing, even if the players are right next to you, you probably don't even know. So Super Lingard starting the second phase on stage play, while Devil T5 is on the first phase, well, just at the end of the first phase. And Brotherman is going to get to the Phantom Express, which is the last boss fight on the category. So the time is actually pretty good. 16:34 entering the boss. Like, it's actually very, very good. Very solid play.
Yeah, we were talking, are we going to see sub 20? And it's looking like sub 19 and maybe even 18 on the table. The Phantom Express is not exactly the thrilling boss fight conclusion that maybe Sally stage play would have been as a more difficult fight. Brother Main already onto the second phase. He is going to be aiming up with those supers in the middle. The spread shot has the advantage in the third phase because there's no hitbox on the enemy, so you can jump up and get those supers. Roundabout has to work a little bit harder, but he is going to be moving on to that third phase now. Boss is done. Rumor Honey Bottoms was a problem for Mel West, but he has moved on. Double T for Super Link God as well. Here comes the final phase.
I just realized how important for some runners seeing Brother Main wins today maybe is on Cuphead, especially because like he's showing that Roundabout maybe has the upper hand. So maybe it closes the debate for the entire community. Apparently, it is better to play on races with the Roundabout. Point. Like, there is no discussion anymore for some people.
Right.
It's still like debatable, obviously, but it's just a fantastic show they're doing right now.
What is the final time going to be? It was about 17:29
It's going to be like
when he got
like
the kill.
18:59 probably. Oh, it's not. It's just even stopping there. So 17:55 or so.
Yeah, we are going to see
This is a
sub
very good,
18
very good time.
The crowd goes wild. The lights flash for Brother Main. That is a hell of a way to start your UD Ultimate Finals.
Yeah, and you know why those speedrunners are the worst? When you're setting up an event like that, seeing those guys fly so fast through the games, it's impossible to keep a planning going. Like they're destroying the schedule. Even no one guessed that they would like beat the game so fast. Oh my God! Devil T5 gets the knockout. 18:53 in on the Phantom Express. Super Lingard is in the loading at the end of Phantom Express, and Mel West is already like almost done as well. So fantastic run for everybody, but obviously like the Deathless and the sub 18 from Brotherman is going like to build so much confidence.
That's right. That's going to matter going forwards. And, it's a lot easier to come back from a mistake like that, like a death in Cuphead, when you're playing at home in the comfort of your home, when all the lights and the people watching and all this, it becomes so much harder to recover from this sort of situation. So we'll see how the players do. Mel West, down to 1 health, is trying to get the last few hits. The Ghost very close to touching him, but he does manage to finish off the boss. 19:20 on the timer. That was cutting it very close, but he is going to finish. It's going to be that sub 20. All 4 players sub 20.
Yeah, no problem. Like sub 20 is actually pretty hard. The 200 points were on 19, and being like over like 210 for Brotherman is going to be huge for them. So obviously, like the 15, 18 point advance, the build, like the advantage they have right now is going to be huge for them. So I don't know. It's going to be pretty interesting. Do you think having the habit to play like with other people like makes it maybe a little bit easier for Brotherman and Devil T5 rather than Mel West that actually like tries to focus the most?
Maybe. I think you have to be. You can't. I mean, maybe if you're able to attain a Zen-like focus or something, you could, get into your special place and do it the way that you do it normally. But I feel like you have to be able to make adjustments to the increased, energy flowing through your body that comes out of a room like this. And I think the players who are able to deal with that are going to be the ones who do the best. And right now, Brother Main is the one who's looking to be doing the best. We can see everyone, sighs of relief and shoulders slumped, taking it easy while we get the next game set up. It does take a little longer with the live setup, but that's okay because it gives us more time to talk, Twin.
Yeah, we'll have the opportunity as soon as it's set up to get the leaderboard, obviously, and it's 1 game done, 9 remaining. We are going to end the day with Shovel Knight because it's one of the most stressful, but next up is the story about my uncle. First off, we see like the advance 18-point advantage for Brotherman that ends first at 210, Super got 202, Devil T5 196, and Mel West 192. Those are fantastic times, very very good. I know some runners like 2C+, which is one of the like very active Cuphead runners, is usually watching the UD, and you'll know like 1756 is a fantastic time. Double T5 usually is said it like he plays well under pressure, and maybe that's just enough pressure to get them to play the best on the upcoming games. Actually,
I think so. It's hard to say that someone would do better in this sort of environment.
Yeah.
When it's so much nicer to be in the chair that with the monitor and the wall and like your cup of whatever you like next to you or whatever it is that puts you in that good place. But he really does seem to thrive off of this sort of situation. So we'll see if he's able to bounce back. Has a little bit of catching up to do, thanks to that fantastic performance from Brother Main. A story about my uncle is up next, and this is a game that has really got a couple people throughout the season. We've seen Mel West had a moment visibly shaking his mouse in frustration. And he's not alone. That it's happened a lot. It's a very precision game. It's particularly with like small hand movements on the mouse. So if you're feeling a little shaky and unsure, I think it could really hurt you in a game like this. So hopefully everyone is able to calm down. Maybe they're a little more warmed up after Cuphead. And they're able to play the kind of a story about my uncle that they're looking to and what they're used to.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep an eye on the players as they set up, because look how the game, like it's an intense one. Like it's a platform, first-person platformer with a grappling hook. Like you have to aim precisely on where you want to hook, and it's actually like pretty crazy. So it's a good game. It's going to change, obviously. Like, you don't play a story about Miracle the same you play Cuphead, and some players are going to play it a little bit better maybe, and some players are going like to see like what it is to play a precision-based game like that live, because once again, like, you do have to give that to players. They're not playing on their setup, so even if they brought their mouse pad and their keyboard and stuff, it's not the same at all. So I do hope like everything works well for them.
Yeah, it's we've been talking about like differences that would create a different feeling that you would have to adjust to. But in a more technical sense, the height of your chair versus the table would affect the angle your arm is at, and I could see that actually making a bit of a difference for some people. The bigger difference, I think, between this game and Cuphead is a sense of flow. In the story about my uncle, you're constantly flowing from jump to jump, chaining them together. And it's something that everyone here is able to do. It's kind of like the next level of speedrunning this game. And so I wouldn't be surprised if people get swept up in the flow. And even if they were planning on maybe taking something safely, the flow kind of demands
that's impossible.
That they just go for it. Right?
You have to keep on moving. You have to ignore everything what's happening around you. Like, you just forget your surroundings and you get like hooked into this thing. So we can see Double T5, Brother Main, Super Lingard, and Mel West. Everybody is setting up. We have like Giorgino on frame. He's doing like all the technical stuff.
Yeah,
and
shout out to Giorgino, man.
Yeah, big shout out to all the crowd, all the technical guys. And yeah, we can keep on seeing like that upcoming. I want to see their faces. Like, I know what I look like, and look how tense they are. Like, some are relaxed, some are practicing, some are changing like some settings because it doesn't feel right. And like, I totally understand. So second game, a story about my uncle. What chair would you rather be on? Like, Brother Main was like a huge lead, but you have to keep on performing maybe, or like you'd rather be on in the middle.
I'm the kind of person who needs every bit of help they can get. I would feel a lot more comfortable with the lead, even with the pressure to hold it. I think I'm the kind of player very pessimistic. I would get down on myself, like, oh man, I died in Cuphead, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I would have trouble getting rid of that. I feel like in speedrunners tend to be a little more pessimistic like that. I feel like I'm not alone in that. So Hopefully, our other players are able to adjust. Mel West, I don't know if it's the lights or what, but he's got head and hands.
Yeah, I hope.
As he focuses there.
I hope everything is alright for them. I just noticed, but Brotherman actually also has the best PB. Big shout out to Georgino's hand that adjust the webcam for them. Their PB is 28.49, so obviously you'd rather be on Brotherman's seat with the better PB and the best lead. So it's pretty great to see that. To be noted, like Mel West had as a record of 1990 and 1994 points on all 10 games in a row during the Last Chance tournament and the Grand Finals, which is huge. Like beating the 2K would be like awesome, because like aiming for 200 on a game means just you're super close to world record. And you have like a very decent like gameplay and you're super good, so showing that on all 10 games in average is just amazing. It's impossible.
Yeah, it's a little unfair to ask of the players to perform so well across all 10 games, but we can't help it. We just want to see them do as well as we know that they can, because if you take a look at their PBs, you know that they're over that 2,000 point mark. I guess even still, we cannot stop asking these players to attain this wonderful number. They're mostly set up here, hanging out in the workshop at the start of the game. It's a little untraditional starting point for the run, but you don't have to listen to the cutscene and stuff. There's a lot of not listening to cutscenes in this run, it turns out.
Yeah, like the game starts with the player in the menu. Like we try to do first input because you have so much dialogue and stuff that if there's any technical difficulty, it's actually better to start from here. So it's easier to set up and all. Devil Tifa hand crossed shows confidence maybe. Brotherman drinking a little bit of water. Everybody like hesitant, I feel. I hope the mic picks up a little bit of the ambience in the room, because like everybody like get excited everywhere. Like a lot of people are shouting when something happened, and just like seeing all the players and switching to that screen, like everybody got into it. So everybody does the countdown and it's going to start pretty quickly.
4, 3, 2, 1, go!
And let's go. Let's move through the workshop. And it starts super slow.
It's
like
not the bursting out of the gates that you would have liked to see. If they had started in Sanctuary right there, it would be a truly explosive start. Some of the hardest jumps in the game are right at that point. Walking through the workshop, definitely not some of the hardest jumps in the game. Indeed, no jumping at all. But we do get to hear this this narrative, which is, I think, kind of a major hook of the game. If you're seeing it for the first time, maybe, and it looks pretty cool. This narration of an uncle talking to his niece about this wild ride that he went on as a kid, and that's where we are. We are the kid in the flashback. We come to his workshop, and our uncle's gone, but this mysterious machine is here. And we're just going to go ahead and flip the switch.
Yeah.
Why not?
They built a suit for us, so we feel like compelled to. And like, clearly we're close to our uncle, and we want to see what happens. Cutscene. So Melwes, like, I don't know if it helps to relax, but I would be like tying my controller down, and he just like lets everything go. He knows he cannot do anything. Just show like distance and confidence, I feel.
Yeah, that is a good look for Mel West, as the teleporter. Is what it turns out being. Gets ready to send them. The camera goes into the sky. I don't think it actually launches them into the air, though.
I'm not sure how teleportation works. If I were like, maybe I would not
that
be
is
like.
How it works. What do I know?
Exactly. Like every like movie has like a way different to show like teleportation. Devil Tifa, Mel West, Brelman, and Superling got start with Sanctuary, and here we go, bursting out of the gate, super jumping, super leaping, and everything is based on a cycle, so there's no time to waste here.
Yeah, we'll see how this opening section goes. We did see a different set of jumps that skipped the thing that is the problem moving on a cycle, so we'll see if we see that again. This is the thing here, this platform moving for Devil Tifa. He manages to jump on it. Mel West also on it. Brother Main.
And Superling got stuck a little bit at the start, so he's not even like through the first few jumps. The checkpoint system in the game is pretty weird. You have those blue marks on the ground, but if you barely graze them, they will not trigger, so you have to pay attention to where you walk, and usually in the speedrun you will try to cut as straightforward as possible, so you will skip a lot of checkpoints.
It's something the players can consider as a safety measure, detouring for some of those checkpoints, losing time, but gaining that safety. It's something we've seen in a number of situations from a number of different players. So given this situation, we might see it from players even who normally don't. It's up to them. They've got the grapple now. They've got one grapple with it eventually. In just a little bit, they'll have their second and eventually a third later on. And so for now, the grapple is kind of required to get around, and it is much faster than walking, certainly. But once they get the second one, there are some gaps that will require both. But for those that don't, you have something to actually save yourself.
Yeah, Brother Main went for the OB, and as I pointed it out, he fell to the ground and actually has to restart, giving Double Tifa the first place. This is a set of very precise jump because you cannot see them, but the kill boxes are super high up, and so they barely float above the kill box, so you have to set yourself up, aim exactly where you want to land, and keep on moving. So it's almost not worth to do, and I'm not sure if Melwest went for that.
Is he? All right, he is not able to get that grapple up there.
Oh, it's too slippery. Wow, why? Here we go.
Okay.
The power leap works, and sync jump with Brother Main and Devil Tifa. Sippling God getting into the OB, and Melwest is in first place right now. He's going to get the second crystal you were talking about.
Oh, he didn't like the grapple there. That is something you'll see the players do, that you can reset at any time. And often when you are fleeing...
No!
He slips.
Whoa!
Wait, what happened there?
They bounce weirdly. I think they grappled for just a frame.
Oh,
and
okay.
It gave them like a huge launch.
Out of bounds for Super Link, got too far. He's going to reset. We've seen players bail from doing this out of bounds after failing a couple times, but it looks like he's going to try again.
Yeah, it's probably worth it. And like,
oh, not that time. Okay.
I love like the expression. Seeing the expression of a player live is just like very, very interesting, like very insightful. Usually you'll be like, "Wow, that went super well," and the player shake his head in disappointment, and you're like, "Okay, maybe not." So lots of grapple. You have to know exactly where to land, where to go, and you have to keep on moving. You have to keep the pace up because Melwest is already like halfway down through the level, just ahead of Brother Main, and it's still moving on. So Brother Main is going to wait for half a cycle, so being effectively one entire cycle of those rocks behind Melwest. Devil Tifa is just ahead of Brother Main right now. They're very close together. Super Link got difficult troubles to get into the game. I hope it's going to go better after level 1.
Yeah, this is not how you want to start your run of A Story About My Uncle. Brother Main up on the focus now, setting up at the end. And looking for this rock, he does find it.
That jump.
Very risky.
Yes. Yeah, wow. Okay, it looks like it's more everything is more impressive to me right now, like just the setting and everything. Like every single jump gets me. Like every boss on Cuphead was super like intense, and every jump on A Story About My Uncle, obviously. But Melwest gets through first level first, a little bit slower than what you would want. The best times are around like sub 5 minutes for that level, but it is the hardest one. Like I think. It is tough to get into the game. It starts fast. You have to get like your grapple correctly ready and all. And being through level 1 in first place is going to be pretty comforting. Double Tifa is super close behind them, and Super Link God is the only one that hasn't been in the level yet.
I think part of the difficulty is that you have less grapples. And surprisingly, one of the easier things to do in this game is grapple and grapple and grapple. Certainly, there, especially if you're trying to go for an edge boost, like we might see from Super Link God here, brushing up against the side of that rock to get a little bit of extra speed. That stuff is tricky. Yeah. But I think some of the hardest stuff is chaining the jumps. And so when you have less grapples, you're jumping more. And that was what makes some of the execution difficult. We are seeing it's sort of an execution of something here from Devil Tifa. This is one of the forced waiting sections. This is my favorite character in this game. Not too many characters in this game, I suppose. But she is cute. This is Maddie. And we're not going to see too much of her, though we are going to see the inside of her head, apparently.
we'll know everything about her inside out, apparently. But Mel West is getting ready. The cutscene stopped right now, and Mel West goes first. So there is a very important edge boost here. You have to know exactly where to grapple to, so you can just skip the few set of jumps later on. Very well executed. That's one of the hardest jump in the game. And then he's going to cut the village entirely, and we're just going through the few jumps and a few rocks, and we'll just keep on moving. This level is super short once you know exactly where you're supposed to go. You should have a sense of wonder and adventure meeting people for the first time, but they're speedrunner. They've played like countless times through those parts, so we're okay. We know where to go. The next up is a very precise skip. You do recharge your grapple as soon as you touch ground, even if it's on a small pebble like that. So you want to pearl leap off that, regenerating one grapple charge and keeping it for the next jump, avoiding to go on the right platform we see there, and just keep on moving. So all those tiny stuff you do on a story about Mancle just to keep on moving as straight to the goal as possible. Very important skip here to get the third grapple charge.
Yeah, very well done by Mel West. The audience applauding, recognizing the skip. Brother Main is going to get it. Devil Tifa is also going to get it. If you don't get it, you don't lose minutes watching the cutscene. You can back out, reset, and try again. But it does eat up a little bit of time. So also it breaks up the flow, right? You have to open up a menu and get into that. And this is a game where flow is very important. So very good that these players are getting this cutscene skip. Super Link God rather is about to start the village section. After that rocky start, I really hope he nails this opening jump in the village. It will make a big difference for his confidence for the rest of the run. And it's still pretty close between the other runners. Mel West holds on to the lead. Devil Tifa and Brother Main's very close to each other right now.
Yeah, this is like an intense race. Level 3 is going to be the great decider, I feel, because like it's not the harder one, but there's like one decisive skip. Mel West has already triggered the cutscene, so you can do whatever they want as soon as the text. As soon as the text pops up, the subtitles are there, you're good to go, and you can die and you don't care. Like it actually happens like one platform before you think, so it's okay to miss the last.
That was the thing I needed.
Yeah.
I don't even get to blame the resolution of the commentary viewer anymore because we have this wonderful screen here in the theater. Mel West is now the first one into the cavern. It's very dark. We've got the gamma way up. Without this, this is even darker than it appears, but even on max settings, the wall is going to be pretty much pitch black. So he is going to be looking for certain cues here. In the dark, the icon will light up when he gets an opportunity to grapple to a surface. And with these three grapples, he's going to try to get onto this here.
Very nice, very clean.
Yeah.
He's just going to keep on moving, not going for any safety. That's the second part of the skip. So same idea, but you don't see anything at all. It's one of the game where it actually helps to play in a very dark room like we are right now, because you see more stuff, like the lights of the screen is going to help you a little bit more.
Mel West now grappling off some of these stalactites.
Yeah. Brother Main nailed the skip as well, and Devil Tifa just died. Wow, I don't even recognize where they were, and they actually have to go through the level all over again, showing like a little bit of a shaky chasms here, and it's going to make them lose a lot of time. Doesn't matter too much though, as there's a lot of games to play, but you want to be as confident as possible and show like as much strength as possible to get like intimidating to the other runners, maybe going into the other games.
Brother Mean with a relatively quick reset to the checkpoint, certainly not the big time loss we saw. Devil Tifa needs a little bit of help on this last grapple, is going to be able to bounce off of the wall and keep going. Opportunity to go through that cave, hit a checkpoint and come out the other side without too much time loss, but he is going to be going on the outside, going for the skip, going for the risky stuff, and this one looks pretty good. Yeah, that's going to do it.
Very well done. Mel West and Brother Main are on the waiting section. That worm, if you move, Brother Main did move. It's not supposed to do that. Like, so they lost time trying to go too fast, and the worm goes back to the watching stance, and then he's going to go to sleep finally. And yeah, wow, that was actually way scarier than it looks, because if you move just a little bit when you watch this, you're like that. It's going to scream at you, pretty much.
Yeah.
And you're going to fall. I was super scared the first time I played that it would eat me alive. I don't want to be eaten. That's something that scared me to hell.
Yeah,
so.
I can't believe you said that it doesn't look all that scary. It was actually the way you started that sentence. And it was like, I don't know, that thing looks pretty scary to me. But it's not too scary to some of our runners. Both Mel West and Brother Main have both triggered the cutscene to the next area. Mel West actually taking a look at it, and we can take a look at it now as this blimp moves. The dramatic reveal of Star Haven. This is a wonderfully bright section, especially compared to the caverns. The trees remarkably solid for grapple points, and they tend to stick out on the edges, so they make for good points to swing on. It looked like he was aiming at the blimp, but that's not going to be the thing. We'll be aiming at some fans, though. There are some fans on global cycles, gigantic spinning fans in this level, and they've been a source of frustration for our runners.
Yeah.
The grapple points on the edges are surprisingly short, or maybe they're just further away than they appear. I'm not sure. And just some of the jumps off of the rocks was something that was a problem for both Mel West and Devil Tifa in the July tournament.
Exactly on that upcoming section. Like, this is the few set of jumps here are actually super tough and got like a lot of people. You barely can grapple on those rocks, and you have to keep your momentum going so you actually reach a little bit further. Like, they're actually aiming right on the edge here just to be sure to make that.
Nice.
And then you have to grapple on that fan, and it's super short, and then you might be good to go. But the fans rotate, and you do expect them to propel you a little bit forward, and they actually don't. So you have to leave them, like, stop grappling exactly at the correct time. And Mel West, it seems like they've done exactly that. Very well done. Brother Mania is right behind them, though, and Devil Tifa is also on Star Heaven, a couple of jumps away, so it's very tight between those three, and Superling God is almost at the end of the chasms.
Doing his best to catch up from behind after that really slow start in Sanctuary. Mel West holds on to the lead. Brother Mean trying to catch him. They are very close, and there is still a fair amount left to play. Maddie's challenging our players. It's we skipped the cutscene where it happens, but Maddie's actually riding on our backs for most of the past since we last saw her, basically. And she challenges us to do this without the grapple hook, but obviously much slower. So immediately failing that challenge. No Steam achievement, unfortunately, for these players today. Reset there for Mel West, but very quick reset. And we'll see what kind of fan cycle he gets when the fans are not where you need them to be, and it looks like they are not. You can always count on the center of the fans to be something you can grapple to, but coming off of it can be pretty tricky, so we'll see. No, he bumps on the crystal on the middle, and he's not able to find anything to latch onto, so kind of a costly mistake there for Mel West.
Not the worst, but yeah, that discussed them a little bit, and Brother Main takes the lead, actually, and got the rocket boots, which are going to be super useful. We've just seen now, they give you a huge boost, and it's just, like, very, very important. Superling God, Devil Tifa. Superling God starts Star Heaven, while Devil Tifa is almost getting at the rocket boots as well. Mel West getting the theirs, and everybody's going to be good to go pretty quickly. You do have on those like few platforms go through those rocket boots, like the game actually teaches you how to use them, and like there's not much room for error here, so you have to adapt and go quickly and do those jump correctly.
Oh,
yeah, they
okay.
got the checkpoint. Wow, that one was scary.
Yeah, there are some cases where checkpoints are skipped, or it looks like they weren't, but they actually were because of some of the cutscene skip stuff. But he was able to sort of glide over the checkpoint and trigger it. I think it was around here where we first saw. I think it was Brother Main was the first one to do it, to grapple to something, and reset and maintain the grapple point. And have a sort of extended launch that would also just sort of preserve a grapple. And that caught us by surprise. It was the first time we'd ever seen that in the middle of a race. Very cool that he pulled it out.
Yeah, he's going to do, I think that's the strat they still use for the village skip, so we're going to see more of that just in the upcoming minute, actually, because there's some very major skip, like that skip 3 minutes long cutscene, so you have to do those. And there are multiple different strats, but the fastest one is also the most difficult one, and uses that smart reset on the grapple, so we'll see it just in a few moments.
Very long distance grapple to the center
Here
of
we
the
go.
fan from Mel West, and here it is from Brother Main, showing off that super long grapple in the bottom left corner, and setting up for the skip now. He's going to go with the rocket boots, going to get a
still
nice big
has
boost.
the grapple.
Yeah,
And that's what allows for that strat. It's super difficult actually, and saves a little bit of time compared to maybe what the other runners are going to do. We'll see. Mel West is soon there actually, so yeah, it doesn't have the extra charge, so it will have to rocket boots above the village and lose a little bit of time compared to Brother Main. But you know, it's just like details at that point. But those guards are good enough, like to show off tiny details and tiny tricks like that.
yeah, that might be the kind of thing where you might revert to something a little more safe in this high pressure race situation at the Ultimate Finals. But I don't know if it's Brother Main feeling himself, feeling the game, or is just plain confident. I'm not sure, but he did go for it and he nailed it. And
Oh yeah!
launching
Oh
off
wow!
that
That
crystal.
reverts a little bit like far away. Like he tries to go for the tiny bit of crystal hook, but it has to be very precisely at the tip if you want to get the edge boost. And that feels maybe better to them. They are not resetting. So yeah, here we go. Apparently the boots are going to be enough. Mel West is right behind them now. Devil Tifa as well. And Super Lingard is catching up because it's still in Star Heaven first half, but they're actually closer than it looks, I think.
Yeah, his Star Haven has been solid. Caverns was okay as well. If he had not lost all the time in Sanctuary, he would be very close to everyone else, certainly. So the rest of his play has been very solid. He manages to land there on that weird sort of sloped area. Brother Main has triggered the cutscene for the next area. It is a dramatic goodbye to Maddie, our beloved companion. We saw that one time.
We
And
met like 15 minutes ago.
we did go pretty fast. Our friendship was accelerated through the speed run, but there is a bit of a wait here. So the players will all sync up at this ship. We'll see how they choose to spend their time. Devil Tifa now on this fan section, and he has managed to latch on as Super Link God as well.
Yeah.
Also dealing with some fans, and he needs the rocket boots here, so he's going to burn them. And sometimes the rocket boots, they give you a lot of boost. So if you need to use them to save yourself or reposition, it can be very hard to reposition yourself somewhere good to move on from there. So sometimes you'll overshoot something, land a little awkwardly, but he handled that situation
Look
well.
how relaxed he is. He's not even looking at his screen. He's like looking where the other players are. Like he's okay. Like he knows exactly what he's doing. Like the Ultifa is such an amazing runner. Everybody is getting on the cutscene. The Ultifa should get there now. And seeing how like close together the community of the UD, all the speedrunners are, maybe speedrun does accelerate its friendship actually. So that may explain like the emotional cutscene we're having right now.
Yeah, maybe. Successful cutscene skip for Super Link God has made it to the checkpoint afterwards, so doesn't have to worry about that anymore. We can take a look at the captain of the ship here with a lovely beard and toque on Devil Tifa and Mel West's screen. Pretty soon they're going to transition into the next world, the final world, the Ice Caves, and it opens with skipping maybe the best part of the game, unfortunately.
Arguably, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite, really dramatic falling block sequence where you trigger something, it triggers a rock slide or an ice slide, I guess. But it's this right here, and Brother Main is able to just kind of curl right around, ignoring the ice that is supposed to hide a grapple point and continue down the path. So we'll see how this goes. Ice Caves is home to a lot of really difficult stuff, especially right at the start, like we're seeing right now.
Yeah, so here you are going to land on that sheet of ice, but it's actually like inside because there's no like texture to it, and then you go like grappling those blocks. So those blocks are like round pebbles, and you want to land on those, but they're actually like quite slippery, and you have to remain stable enough to recharge your grapple and boots, and then you have to want to do it again. But yeah, as I said, like pretty slippery stuff. So that's a scary one. They're pretty happy to have recovered there, and they'll keep on moving. You can land safely here. Mel West is showing a different strat with like he's landing not on one of those pebbles, but actually a platform you're supposed to go through that right here on the top right of your screens, and it's actually way safer to them. So I like that strat from Mel West, and that keep on going, like very close behind Brother Main. Brother Main got the checkpoint here and he's going for the second OB of that level. So on he's going like there where he's pointing with the crosser, and you can land on pretty much everything you see, and they're able to move on, recharging their boots and keep on boosting and just ignore the rest of the level pretty much.
Yeah, really big skips, constant skips in the ice caves, due to mostly, I think, access to the rocket boots and just things on the walls. There are walls to stand on as opposed to a Star Haven, which is mostly just floating rocks. So the two combined create for some fun, unintentional routes through these really dark sections. Brother Main is going through a sort of a hidden grapple section. You need to turn your camera to find the next grapple point as you swing through. And we got Devil Tifa, who is on the big skip. He manages to hook on. Is he going to land safely? He is. Once more.
Yeah, it's scary. Each time, like, the boots take a little bit of time to trigger. I'm like, is it not there yet? And they get it. Very nice. Mel West is getting through the cave. You're not supposed to have your rocket boots here, but we did actually skip the checkpoints where they break. So like Brother Main, they're able to actually like skyrocket through that cave and just ignore everything else. And obviously a place that's built like that's meant for you not to have those, having the rocket boots like saves a ton of time. And Brother Main just got through the part where you actually like repair your non-broken boots.
Yep.
And then they're moving on. Very important place here, the pillar. They don't want to go around and with the platform, so they're going to go like right into it and find a tiny platform you can land on.
You will see. This always looks a lot scarier than it is, I think. There's some kind of ledge there, and everyone always seems to land on it just fine, curling around here.
no.
He's too low,
Wow.
but he finds the grapple. Nice
Wow,
save.
look at how like happy he
Applause
is with
from
that.
the audience.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that actually like saved them time, because usually you'd be too high and take time to land. So
Right.
I was sure they would have to reset and actually lose a ton of time. Mel West just landed in the pillar, uses their boost, and look how high Mel West is compared to what Brother Main just did. That's crazy. Brother Main is not stopping for anything, and like if they keep on moving to first places for the first two games, like that must feel good.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think, we talked to him, and he said he wanted to win. But I think what everyone wants more is just to play well, right?
Yes.
Certainly winning comes with playing well. But you got to just feel so good when all these people are watching you play and you're at your best and everything's going well. We'll see if it continues to go well for Brother Main.
Ooh, they kind of got startled here. Not sure if they had like the grapple or not, so they changed direction a little bit and like very quick and
Devil
precise
too far?
reactions.
No, he's okay.
Wow, yeah. If you do go too far here, you actually soft lock. So he's pretty happy, I'm sure, to land on there.
Final sequence now for Brother Main, charging down the sort of Spider-Man swinging. Do need to recharge your grapple with these crystals. You could get caught sometimes feeling like, oh, should I recharge off that crystal, or should I do my next grapple, or do I need to? And you can sometimes find someone's mouse flickering back and forth between two targets, unable to decide. And you've got a good amount of loft as you pull yourself up off the grapple, but you will find yourself falling pretty quickly. Only have a certain amount of time to make those decisions. Brother Main had no problem getting through the final section. He's boosting towards the final caves. Pretty much smooth sailing from here. There is a final cutscene before we get the final time, unfortunately, so our focus is going to be on Mel West's final descent. Super Link God is still in the ice caves, climbing here with the grapples and looking to rocket boost through. Audience applause as the cutscene starts for Brother Main. Mel West continuing, and he's pretty much past the scary stuff, unless he does want to go for a final rocket boost here.
Yeah.
He's lined up really well, though. The lights on the runway are all there for him,
Really
and he's good.
Like, I love the Spider-Man section at the end where you have to grapple over and over again, and like the player are actually like extended that as long as possible and using the rocket boots to go as far as possible, and it's like the game all comes together pretty well in the end. And Devil Tifa and Super Link God are like Ooh, wow, Devil Tifa is not finding exactly where they're going, but uses the rocket boots as a safety measure that actually loses them a lot of time, sadly.
Yeah,
Brother-
that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
The rocket boots will save you and help you reposition, but sometimes...
Oh, boots again! Wow.
Well, this time he was lower down, so he's actually going to be pretty much right where he wants to be by the time he gets to the top of this.
That's actually surprising. Maybe they're like unhappy with how it went. Like
Yeah.
something is distracting them. Like seeing that twice back to back is actually like surprising. They have to focus here. You could see them lean forward a little bit and just actually like do exactly what they need to do.
Final sequence now. Super Link God also pretty close behind. He was far behind early on in the race and just kind of was never the other racers never give him the opportunity to really get back in the race. Devil Tifa bonking his head there, losing a lot of speed, but he's most of the way through, so we'll see how he decides to finish off. He is going to try to go for a grapple on the ceiling and get a little bit of a boost. He is going to have to correct a little bit, but
nice.
with the nice crystal snipe, he's going to have plenty of grapples should he need them, and he doesn't. He's fine.
Yeah, grappling again, like it doesn't change anything, and he's going to move. He's 2 entire minutes behind Brothermain. That's probably 20 points actually, and Brothermain and Melwest are going to like keep on moving through those games like faster than Spilling Gun and Devil Tifa at that point.
It's still early. There's 10 games total, 8 left to play, 3 today. So it's anything but over, especially with some scary games left to play. Again, Shovel Knight is going to be our final game for today. It's been the one that has had some of the biggest swings, biggest costs and points, and biggest opportunities to gain time. So that will be it's far from over for these players, but it is over now for Super Link God, who is coming in to the end of this game, and it's just some cutscenes. So we're going to get our final times in just a little bit. I wonder how Super Link God is feeling after the death in Cuphead and now some of these problems that he's had in the story about my uncle.
It looks super disappointed, like knowing he's like an entire minute behind Devil Tifa and 2 minutes behind Brothermain and Melwest. Like they know, but sadly it all happened like on the first level pretty much, and like they cannot do much else about what's going on. So Brothermain is in the workshop. I'm not sure they're going to make the sub 30, but it has been said like by existing runners that by the real Vincenzo, big shout out to them. They were to SGDQ 2018 playing a story about my uncle, and they said like sub 30 is very tough. Like it's not easy. Like a lot of people are going to struggle with that, and 200.4 sub 30 is very well placed. Upcoming Brothermain is showing like French commentator are overhyping the skip here.
Wait, get ready!
Wow!
Yeah, this is my favorite part of the run.
Wow.
Unfortunately, he executed it just over 30 minutes, and the run really does end when you climb over that box. No, it ends when you go through this door. He's moonwalking through the door. He's 360, no scope door, 3018. Going to be the final time, having a bit of fun.
You cannot be disappointed with what happened there. He is ahead of everybody, but getting the sub 30 was maybe important to them. Like right now. Melwest is going for the skip again. And
he gets it.
He's like shaking his head like, what are you doing, guys? It's not like, they're actually like super focused. I like Melwest's attitude a lot right now. I like also like during the interview they were like, UD7 maybe not, maybe I'm not even thinking about it. Pretty much, it's like right now it's UD6 Ultimate Finals. We have to perform as well as possible. Devil Tifa is going to have like it finish around like the 32 minutes mark, and Super Link God is going to be around the 33 minutes mark, and Melwest Brothermain already done on the left side of the screen, and Super Link God Devil Tifa just waiting through cutscenes. This is the main like drawback to that game, like super long cutscenes.
But we do get to see this lovely walk again through the workshop. Again, we're going to see 8 times we're going to walk through this workshop. Very important optimizations, cutting the corners on the stairs, not getting hung up on the railings. Zooming in. Yeah, show off some of the
details.
environment. Yeah,
Look
some
at those
storytelling
mugs.
happening. That maybe it's map. What's this map? Those pins are those places his uncle has been? Is he a worldly traveler? Huh? Think about it.
It's pretty cool to see those players go through the games, and maybe it's for the last time for some of them. Like, and getting the skip, obviously, everybody claps. Like it's.
New tech, stepping on the other box with just the right foot.
And
the
moonwalk.
360
Oh my
as
God!
well.
Just keep on moving. So
Anything these players can do to make the end a little more excited. The crowd is welcoming at the end. Super Link God's turn to walk the red carpet here towards the end of the run. Like you said, is chasing the 33-minute mark. I don't think he's quite going to get there.
he's going to walk on the box at 33, like Brother Main did. Like walk on the box at 30. It's going to sadly cut. 3 minutes behind the other guys. Oh my God! Everybody is showing off right now.
Oh,
what are they doing?
No way!
Reverse
No
workshop.
way!
They're losing time due to. Oh, he's not doing the skip.
Oh,
no!
It's legit. Actually, hard to find your way.
No! Wow!
He missed
actually
it.
missed the skip.
He missed it. Come on now.
You have to go back and actually.
That's what you get for showing off, sir.
Yeah.
360 box skip is one thing, but the no look. All right, doing the figure eight's actually making me a little bit sick with the smooth motions.
GG 33-25. Final time for Super Lingard. Tough game for them.
Yeah. It's a tough game for maybe Devil Tifa to some degree. He finished ahead of Super Link God by about a minute or so. But he had a look on his face that was a little disappointed. So we'll see. We'll see how disappointed he is in this time as we take a look at the leaderboard to see what everyone's time ended up being. Again, we're going to be totaling the points across all 10 games to determine our winner. Brother Main, predictably, after finishing first twice, is our leader. And it's by a little bit of a fair margin across just 2 games.
Yeah, it's actually 25 points ahead of Melwest, second place. Melwest is 10 points ahead of Devil Tifa at the third place. And Super Lingard is at 367, just barely 5 points behind Devil Tifa. So there's more between Brother Main and Melwest than between Melwest and Super Lingard. Next up is Metal Slug. Everybody's getting ready. We'll just take a quick look and quick peek at the player card. It's going to show a little bit of the player performances. So we'll start by Melwest. Melwest has been grinding and playing the games a lot, so his player card is just going to show that. Look how full that player card is. If they're first in grind leaderboard and race leaderboard, so their best result during UD races, they're mostly first and second on every single game, pretty much.
Yeah, there are a couple games where some people have sort of laser focused in on that game. So you'll see someone who, if you've been watching the last couple tournaments, hasn't entered because they're not playing all 10 games, but have totally mastered one game or the other. And if you look at anyone who has competed in all 10, Melwest above all of them on each game. And this player card is just absolutely monstrous. He picked up, he moved up in race time a lot after the October tournament, and then whatever games he didn't quite get on that one, he nailed in grand finals and has sort of secured this top race 1 spot. Has been such an impressive racer to watch this season.
Yeah, second up, Super Lingard is going to show a little different profile. They're force and force in both race and grind, and clearly showing strong everywhere, but tiny weaknesses. Shovel Knight being the biggest ones. The end is nigh, a little one as well, and everything else is pretty much as close to Melwest as you can ask anyone to be.
Yeah, it's this is the ultimate final, so everyone is very, very close, very, very good. To call the 183-point personal best in Shovel Knight as a little weak would have been madness, even in the grand finals or one of the qualifying tournaments. But up against the absolute best of the best, you're right. It is just a little bit behind. So Shovel Knight at the end of today will be probably a bit of a concern for Super Link God. It's probably a concern for everyone, honestly.
Yeah, to be honest, for sure. it's a massive game. Look how long the PBs of the players are. Like it's a 52:29 best race time in the UD 53:45. Like it's not a joke. Like it's a big chunk of a game. Lots of memorization, lots of top, lots of skip, lots of setup to remember, lots of dangerous enemies you could like try to move around. Like it's crazy. Third, we're going to take a peek at the Brother Main player card. So far, he's the shore runner, like the best player we've on stage. But that's only on Ulster my uncle and Cuphead that we've done. And to be fair, it shows like they're the best racer, the second best racer on Cuphead, and the best racer on the story about my uncle. So the trend confirms what compared to what we show.
Yeah, we are seeing a bit of a gap in PB versus race time for Inertia, and particularly Shovel Knight. Brother Main has not had. I mean, he's been in a lot of races, right? He has done he qualified in July, but then he also played as sort of a pacemaker in August as well as Grand Finals. So a lot of opportunities to get that really strong Shovel Knight run, and it's eluded him so far. So how big would it be if he could come up with that in the Ultimate Finals, and would also probably like to improve the Inertia score just a little more.
Yeah. Just before showing Devil Tifa, upcoming is Metal Slug, and it's everybody knows Metal Slug at that point. I feel like it's a very well-known game. It's a Neo Geo classic. Everybody has played on the arcade cabinet at that point, like on a pizza place or just like a bowling alley. You'll find Metal Slug somehow,
right.
And it's a fantastic speedrun actually.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of jumping, basically, to move faster. But the real meat of it is going to be in not dying and in sort of managing your resources. Those two things are related because you do lose all of your resources when you die. Particularly the final boss is going to be a big concern for players, getting there with all the bombs and shotguns necessary to take him out. We can say, look, this final sequence here, get used to these 4 guys on this boat, because this is going to be the big tense part of the run later on. I think Brother Main of the players so far has the lowest PB and kind of the biggest to prove here on Metal Slug, so has done very well on the first 2 games, and is going to be maybe facing his first major hurdle in overcoming some of these other players.
That's probably true. Everybody is getting ready. Just before the race starts, we're going to take just a little look at Devil Tifa's player card, especially showing how strong they are on Metal Slug. That's just the upcoming game. So everybody can come back. Superlink got big strengths is Inertia, and probably like right now, Devil Tifa has the upper hand on Metal Slug.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, Devil Tifa, nothing but consistent across all the races that he's been in and on the leaderboard. So it's unsurprising to see his race times all very close to his BBs. Not a lot of gaps between those 2 bars. Has done his best to have the nice, even sword blade there at the end of each game. Very pretty to look at with this player card, and is a overall just a phenomenal competitor.
Yeah, everybody is getting ready. It is probably one of the most nerve-wracking games on the UD, just considering the settings that everybody is playing on. Like this is on the Steam version that has been pretty well ported for Windows 7, but doesn't run
Only
so
Windows
well
7.
on Windows 10. So it is one of the games that had technical issues. Nobody was never sure. That's probably the game that has been the most tested during setup.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to make sure that it was working well for everybody. You know, the players are playing with different controllers and everything. Like everybody is a little bit different to their sensitivity to like frame rate and stuff like that. So we made sure that game ran well. Everybody is raising hand, showing thumbs up. So means it's going to start pretty soon. Mel West, Super Lingard, Brother Main, and Devil Tifa.
Count it down. 3, 2, 1, go. They're off. First mission, relatively straightforward. Even if you die, it's probably not. It's only going to cost you the time it takes to die and come back, whereas it can be, a world-ending, run-ending mistake later on in the run. So low stakes to start it out. We see nice jump there from Mel West to get closer to the helicopter. Got pretty close to those bombs, but he is okay. They're mostly going to be using their bombs to take out some of this house here that is in the way. The rest go towards the boss, get nice and close. and dispose of it pretty straightforward. You're seeing them jump a lot. You move like twice as fast when you're jumping. Like, it's really dramatic. But you're putting yourself at risk when you get up in the air. You can swim back and forth in the air, but the control is limited. So it is something that players might choose to keep their feet on the ground to be a little more safe, but not in the first level. They're all neck and neck, blew right through that one.
Melas first, what a fantastic player. Brother Main just a few frames behind. Devil Tifa in third, and Super Lingard just 10 frames behind Devil Tifa, and Mission 2 is starting. Let's go. So, there are a lot of prisoners everywhere, but you don't care to save those, except if they give you like a super strong weapon, so you'll see a lot of skipping. You just want to rush through the game, obviously. The game doesn't stop you often to kill everybody, except on a few screens like that one. All the mini-bosses and the bosses, obviously, you have to kill. Everything else is just try to ignore and go.
We've got the rocket launcher now, and this is going to be used to deal with some of these boats that spawn in, dropping down onto it and letting loose point blank. It's a little unclear when you play this game, you know, if the boat is even taking damage, and you do need to like blow it up after it blows up. So able to deal with both those. Another rocket launcher sinking to the bottom of the sea unnecessary. Assaulting the boat as soon as it appears on screen. The other boats have invincibility frames for a little bit before they get on there, but not that third boat. Shotgun in hand for Mel West. Super Link God jumping onto that boat as well. Devil Tifa Brother Main right there with Mel West using the shotgun on the edges of the screen and taking out that tank with a bomb.
And
yeah.
They launched the bomb first, and then got the shotgun, and then the bombs landed on the tank. This is the degree of optimization Mel West is showing right now. This is actually crazy. Even like everybody is struggling to keep pace. Devil Tifa is right behind them, and Mel West at the upper hand. And one of the biggest like guy. This is the medals, like the tiny tank, but like we don't see much of it during the run, but this is where it shines because it will allow for a nice skip. As soon as everybody dies, you're able to move on. Usually the game would actually get you stuck for a long while spawning guys, but here if you kill everybody at the correct time, you will be just able to keep on going. Super Lingard is a little bit behind, but everybody is getting into the boss. Bad pattern for Super Lingard, but it's the same one for Devil Tifa, Brother Main as well, so everybody gets the same RNG.
That's what you like to see. If it's not the good RNG, at least it's the same
RNG. For all four players. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the odds of that are, but they're not high. Definitely the first time we've seen that the case for 4 players on stream. Also, maybe the first time we've seen 4 players so close after the end of Mission 2.
Yeah.
You know, Mission 1, certainly players still very close. But Mission 2, there's some stuff going on, and the players all nailed pretty much all of it. Mission 3 has some more stuff. They're going to see one of the first... it's not a glitch, but it's something that's clearly unintended.
Dies here, losing the heavy machine gun.
Yeah, it's not as big a deal as, say, a shotgun or a rocket launcher. It doesn't really do that much more damage, but the diagonal sweep that it offers is very useful, particularly on this section, so lost it right as it was most needed, is maybe going to lose a bit of time. There's the drop that I was beginning to talk about earlier, respawning on the ledge, just a little bit of a time save there.
Yeah, Brother Main took the lead. Super Lingard dies as well here intentionally. Devil Tifa is right behind Brother Main and Mel West. Brother Main showing like a nice jump and did not get 500 points here, did not get the bombs. We'll see how the RNG is still playing out, but Brother Main is having, with the heavy machine gun, having a better time apparently than Mel West. Mel West is having trouble to deal with the guy. They did get the same RNG, like everybody has the same RNG apparently, except Devil Tifa. Devil Tifa got the 10 bombs, with that's what you want, and it might help them to get through those skips here, getting the shotguns and the bomb, and Devil Tifa doesn't get the skip, while Brother Main got it. So, oh no, it's stuck as well. Let's see Mel West. Mel West did not get it either. Like, it's pretty crazy. Everybody's having the same run, apparently.
Yeah, I was sure we're not copy-pasting the streams here.
It was shifting a little bit, like, there's just one player playing and just, like, shifting the...
All the cameras, just an elaborate lie.
Yeah.
No, that's not the case. These guys really are as close as they appear. Brother Main and Devil Tifa jumping through the rubble on the bottom half of your screen, entering the metal slug. It is very useful. In this particular case, not because it allows you to take multiple hits, not because it has a special blue heavy machine gun looking thing on the back, or the special cannon fire it offers. It's good because it lets you have more than 2 bombs on the screen at once, and we're really looking to just dump a ton of bombs into this boss at the end of the stage. You can lose a lot of time here if you don't have the bombs and if you don't have the metal slug. So setting up for it here, if you do have the resources,
Let's go.
actually
Just
pretty
drop
trivial.
everything.
Just bam, unload, and pretty shortly there it is.
Here we go. It did not, like it still had ammo. Like Brother Main does exactly the same thing. Should be done very quickly. Here we go. No bomb left. Very good though. Super Lingard starting to dump the bombs, and Melwest had a very, very rough mission 3. So Devil Thief having the upper hand, I'm not surprised because, as you said, it is one of their strengths right now. So that's as expected. Mission 4 is super short. You start going through the manor here. You don't care about anything, just drop bombs and shoot at everything. You do need to be careful with the upcoming prisoner here because it catches one bomb. So they like Devil Thief doesn't even care. It's like, yeah, eat my bombs. It's not. It's a short level. No one cares about even resources right now. Brother Main right behind them. Melwest finally done with Mission 3 boss, and Super Lingard is a little bit ahead of them.
Melwest illustrating the importance of resource management and not dying at the wrong time, basically. There are some deaths you can take that aren't so bad, but there are some deaths that are very costly. I didn't catch what happened to Devil Thief before he died, but I'm pretty sure he's missing a shotgun here.
He's missing like 20 bombs and a shotgun. Look at Brother Main resources. He's going to have way better time on the boss. Like the shotgun deals a ton of damage. 2 bombs worth of damage, and Brother Main dies anyway on the boss as well. So Super Lingard might have the catch up a little bit. Yeah, they keep the shotgun. They dump all the bombs, and Super Lingard actually is ahead of Devil Thief right now, just in one boss. I'm surprised that Mission 4 can do that actually.
That is maybe the first time we've seen such strong players have such problems with Mission 4 like that. Certainly there are places in Metal Slug where everyone struggles, you know, towards the middle half, the bridge on the final mission.
Look at
very
Melwest ate those bosses like it was like wow. Okay, everybody lost. Like Brother Main and Devil Thief lost a ton of time. Thankfully they were ahead, so it did not cost them too much. But Super Lingard is first right now, jumping above those cars, having 20 bombs. That's exactly what you want. And this is an interesting like running only level with a few doors you will want to blow up, but you don't want to stop. Brother Main dies. Super Lingard never stops. Dump 8 bombs to kill the door. He's going to sacrifice the slug as soon as it enters. 2 more bombs will do it for the door and keep on moving. We are almost at the boss already.
Brother Main uses his last 2 bombs to take care of that door, so he's going to have to pistol down the boss a little bit. This is a weird boss. It doesn't quite die after it runs out of health. It doesn't realize that it's dead yet. It takes some time to figure it out. So we'll be killing time, hanging out underneath. Lingard dies there, but it's really, I don't think it's going to cost any time, really.
It looked like he was unhappy with it, but it doesn't matter at all. It's just the same. Just the time where the actual game froze until like, you respawn, but that's it's nothing, like 2 seconds. Probably the least costly death you can take in the entire game.
Yeah, but even that is still, he took it a little hard.
Yeah.
You know, just thought like, you know, I should have been able to dodge that, and I didn't. So acknowledging that and heading into the final mission. It opens with some pretty tricky sequences here. These 8 guys on the left side, you want to kill them all at once with the big knife, and he gets it, and he gets the shotgun, so he is in good position. We'll see if he's able to deal with this bridge section. This is probably the hardest part of the game to execute on.
Shotgun for everyone so far, so same RNG for all the players. Nobody can complain about luck. I'm pretty happy to see that. Super Lingard sadly dies, but I'm not surprised. This is the hardest section of the entire game. Super Melwest also got the shotgun, so strictly everybody got the same RNG on that run. I'm pretty happy. Okay, you have to deal with all that madness. Super Lingard does a very good job at that. Has a shotgun on screen and a heavy machine gun and 10 bombs. They can do whatever they want when they respawn. Brother Main is going to do the same thing. You want to end the fight, the screen here, being on top of the bridge, not on bottom, or it's going to mess up with the prisoner spawning on the next screen. So Super Lingard shows up that right now he has the 4 prisoners, so that means everything went well positioning wise. Melwest is actually Melwest passed both Brother Main and Devil Thief, and everybody is synced back up.
Wow.
I'm scared with Devil Thief as prisoners, but it might be okay. I'm not sure they have a shotgun actually.
Yeah, we'll see. That prisoner from the second from the left is sort of the key prisoner. You either want to keep him on the boat or you want to save him, make sure you get the item, and then save the item. which can be a little trickier because it kind of zones out part of the boat that you can no longer stand on. And this is a long boat ride. You got to deal with a lot of stuff. You can use invincibility frames like we're seeing from Devil Tifa just there, jumping off of the gun to get through some of these waves of bullets. You can see the game is slowing down quite a bit. So if you are playing very defensively, you are still losing time to lag.
Devil Tifa took a missile to the face, but it still was in iframes for leaving the gun. When you enter the gun and you leave the gun, you have long iframes, and it was super scary. Superling God doesn't have the shotgun. They're going to stack up on bombs, apparently. I think Melwestis has a shotgun, and Brotherman kept alive. The guy is not continuing because the boat keeps on moving, so you don't have to rush into continuing. You can... If the timers go to 0, it stops. It's game over. So you still have to pay close attention to that. Devil Tifa dying with 10-4 bombs is actually pretty bad, and Superling God has a ton of bombs here, so that's pretty cool for them. You want to save all your resources in case you die, so they're actually playing very smart right now.
Yeah, it does mean there's not a lot of places on this boat for him to stand. He dies just before breaking the final barrel there, but he does get it down.
Oh, careful with that final guy,
Yeah, this is it's very hard to keep track of everything that is happening on the screen. It's very easy for a stray bullet to catch you, and with one hit and you're dead, it can mean the difference between 40 bombs and 10 for the final boss. So that can make a big difference, especially if you get some favorable patterns. Up to 50 now, 60 on the table.
Bombs. No, don't.
Oh,
wow,
so
don't take a hit.
Melwest
You
with
have
40
to kill
bombs.
that guy with the pea shooter. One hit kills, and Melwest. So the best time you can kill that guy at is 87, as you can see on the top in the in-game timer, and it's crazy to do so. Like depending on the
really
patterns,
good.
yeah, Melwest is having a good fight. Superling God is dumping all these 60 bombs, trying to dodge the shot, and Melwest is going to be done very quickly. Like he dies intentionally. To get bombs back. I think he had no resources left, and just the correct pattern, and the boss is dead. Like, let's go, dump bombs. No, don't die right now.
He just needs just a little bit more damage to get the kill. Any second now, this boss is... No, all 10 bombs, and the boss is still alive. Totally.
He has like about
damage
75 bombs worth of HP, between 75
there
and
it is.
And finally, Melwest gets first place, sub 13 minutes, but he might be unhappy with his performance. Brotherman is still like waiting to respawn. Devil Tifa is done as well. Devil Tifa proving that he can go fast in Metal Slug. Brotherman has the lead currently, but he has to stop dying, and he's unhappy with what's happening. He has like pretty bad patterns, and Superling God is done, so Brotherman is going to be last on Metal Slug. Thankfully, they can like maybe with their lead like damper the damage a little bit.
He just ran out of iframes by the time that missile came. He's right on top of his
Okay,
feet.
Finally!
Does get the kill.
He
Not
looks
too far behind the other players. You know, he's not going to lose his lead, I'm pretty sure. We'll take a look at the leaderboard.
It's going
in
to shrink just a little bit, but like the game gives you the continue count and all. And we are going to take a break, and since it's a live event, it's going to be a longer break than usual between the games. Like, you know, everything is going to freshen a little bit and actually leave the room and then come back. So it's going to be about 20 minutes break. Look, everybody looks exhausted a little bit just playing through those 3 games. So everybody's going to refill water, and we are going to do it as well.
That's right. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the last 2 games of today. I hope you guys are too. And, you know, enjoy the music, and we'll see you in a little bit.